Okay, so hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Miriam. If you like video weight loss and lifestyle, hit that like and subscribe button. Today I will be sharing with you guys how Islam and me coming to the Islamic morals and traditions was able to save me from sex trafficking. And so sex trafficking is a prevalent thing, I think, that's happening all over the world, but definitely here in the United States it is a big problem. You do not have to be Muslim to benefit from what it is that I'm going to tell you. And so either way, when you're a woman of color, particularly a black woman, you are more at risk for being sex trafficked. Sex trafficked is when a woman is being kidnapped or forced to sell her body. So either way, I was not always Muslim. And so, alhamdulillah, I grew up in a very Christian household, a very conservative Christian household, which is becoming more and more rare. So I was not allowed to date until I was 18. So alhamdulillah, I didn't have a whole lot of experience or dating before I became Muslim. But here in the West, there is the normalized concept of dating, meeting up with people, going to people's houses, just different men you do not know, or you trying to get to know. And so that's very dangerous. You really do put yourself at risk for being sexually assaulted, as well as being kidnapped and sex trafficked, choosing to date. And so that's something you won't hear a lot of people saying. A lot of young women end up being sexually assaulted once they're college age because, again, they are trying to go out and date and meet up and hang out with people, and that person does not have the right or correct intentions. And so obviously in Islam, we do believe in marriage. We believe in a man getting to know a woman, but only through the presence and approval of her family. And so there is no such thing as a woman going off by herself with a man, because that is just simply not safe. But either way, I started going out when I was 18, 19 to the grocery store, to the shopping center, and that's when I started having men follow me around. At first, I was kind of like, I thought it was in my head, but then it kept happening every single time I would go shopping. These men would follow me around. Sometimes they would come up to me immediately. Sometimes they would follow me for 20 or 30 minutes in the store. Now, definitely I did catch the attention of other people, the employees, the security within the store, and they would start following them around. Sometimes they would scare them off out of the store. But at the time, again, I was still very clueless. I thought, oh, maybe they are just very persistent in trying to get my number. They would always try to be very nice, like, what is your name? Do you have a boyfriend? I normally would lie and just say I had a boyfriend. I would say I wasn't allowed to date. Now, I've always kind of, I don't think so much anymore, but when I was younger, I did look younger. So at 18, 19, I in fact looked 15 or 16. And so the men that approached me, they were always black men. They were always men in their 20s and 30s. Now, it got to a point, it got really scary. I got tired of it. I got tired of people following me around. They would sometimes follow me to my car. Even on occasion, I've had people follow me to another part of the city. It would be the same man that tried to talk to me before, asking me if I was sure about not exchanging numbers. Like, are you sure you don't want to talk to me? And I would kind of be like, this is just really weird. This is really crazy. But those were pimps. They were pimps. So women, young women, have to be very careful. There are men that will try to get to know you under the guise that they want to date you or be your boyfriend, and they are going to eventually start prostituting you. Sometimes this is through kidnapping, violence, or force. They will take you. Or they will put you in situations that, hey, have sex with my friend, then have sex with these people. If you love me, you like me, you'll do this. And sometimes it's under the threat of violence. They will try to get you hooked to drugs. And when this situation happens, it'll be very hard for your parents to find you or get you. Definitely here in this country, law enforcement efforts are not really put towards finding women of color. And a lot of women, young or older, they will be written off as just runaways. And so, but either way, when I started dressing as a Muslim, I started not having these people follow me around. And so it was crazy because initially when I was telling my mother all this was happening, she didn't believe me that people were following me around. Then when I started noticing that people they weren't doing this when I went out, when I was dressed as a Muslim. I wasn't Muslim at the time, but I was looking into Islam. I immediately seen the benefits of the hijab and the abaya. because I stopped having these men harass me. And so as you guys know, there is a verse in the Quran that says you do wear your hijab so you're not molested. And so it does not mean that, oh my, nothing will ever happen to you, but definitely when you're in society, men that are looking for unsavory women will not waste their time trying to approach you. And so definitely when you're Muslim, you are looked upon as a moral, even in the West, you're looked upon as a conservative religious person. And so a lot of times guys that are looking for different women to prey on, they don't even waste their time. And so alhamdulillah, I would go out, I would not have guys follow me anymore. When I would not wear my hijab, and like I said, I was not Muslim at the time, just experimenting, then that's when I would start having people follow me. And so when I wear a random scarf, then I have to like wear hijab. Like I have to wear proper hijab, because sometimes people you see and they'll wear like hijab in a way that's not proper, that you can't even necessarily tell that they're Muslim. When I dress like that, then that's when you start having the pimps and the sex traffickers come up to you again. Because sometimes my mom, especially when she was like really not feeling Islam and you don't want to look like a Muslim, there's no way in the world I would go out like that. But either way, I just thank God so much, because like I said, I was young, I was not experienced. There is no telling what would have happened to me. And of course, you know, with learning about Islam and learning about modesty, I also too learned about the principles and the values of, you know, making sure you're not alone with the guy, making sure you're not meeting up with the guy. If a guy is sincerely interested in getting to know you for marriage, he will ask to get for your parents' information. I don't care if it's Muslim or non-Muslim, because there's some Muslims, guys out here that will even say, oh, I want to get to know you without your parents knowing about it. That is someone that does not plan on trying to be your husband. They're trying to play you. They're not trying to get to know you. They're not having the best interest for you, because everyone wants all the women safe in the community. And they want everything to be an open book. If I'm getting to know you, I want your parents to know, and I want your parents to be present. And so that's really important within a society. That's definitely important within the religious community, because it's not even just about, and this is what you have to think about too, having young men. No one can later on even lie and, well, first off say, okay, there's sexual immorality going on here. But no one can even lie and say a sexual assault take place. And so definitely when you have daughters, you have to think about it at a different angle. When you have sons, you have to think about it at a different angle, because even there are women out here that have a problem and that go around saying that people have taken advantage of them and raped them, and because either the man didn't want to be with her or the relationship didn't work out and they're scorned, and you want evidence and proof that nothing like this has happened. And so even with our young men, it's not a ticket. Sometimes people think, oh, I have a son, he can do what he wants, I don't have to worry about him being raped. No, you don't have to worry about him being raped, but you do have to worry about him being falsely accused of doing something he has not done. And that is a reality here in this country. And even though there's not evidence, or people will try to retract such a claim, by that point then it has affected and impacted that person's life, especially if they've been able to become successful in society and have earned different stuff. There are plenty of young men that have lost everything, their college, their degrees, their scholarships, because there's a girl that was maybe jealous or upset, you know, the guy was not interested in her and then lied. And so but either way, I hope that has a benefit, you guys. Now I did have someone comment originally on the original video that said, well, yeah, that Islam might have saved you from being sex trafficked or put at risk for this or that, but what about the child marriage? And so the thing is, within Islam, there's a combination of things. First of all, in the ancient world, there was no such thing as child marriage. Or we'll say it like this. In the Muslim community, as well as a number of communities, if a young girl, a teenage girl, or younger than that started her period, she was viewed as being a woman. That was not looked at as child marriage, not in the European, even European Christian society. Now, other cultures, especially those that are in, for whatever reason, very hot climates, the women matured very fast. And so in, let's say, African and Middle Eastern culture, you have women that will normally get their periods around 9, 10, or 11, In European culture, the girls might have been getting their periods around 11, 12, or 13. Regardless, most women started getting married at that age. And so it was for a combination of things. One, it helped to offset the financial burden on the family. But two, because of the life expectancy was low, and so because of warfare and disease, and because of all the death that occurred during childbirth for teenagers as well as women, a lot of communities, you might see the average life expectancy might have been 25, or the average life expectancy might have been 30. So this, you cannot think of it in terms as you think of now, right? And a lot of people didn't even survive childhood, and so all that brings down the average life expectancy. So if somebody was 10 and they got married because they started their period, they did because realistically at 25 that they were going to be dead. And so I don't know why people choose to look within Islam for some reason and try to demonize Muslims and say as if no one else no one else is practicing that practice. Now here in most societies, most cultures, most countries, the average age to consent to a sexual relationship or marriage is between the ages of 16 and 18. But now the life expectancy is longer. Most people are living to their 60s or 70s. But let me tell you, if everyone was still dying at 25, you would not have people just now getting married at 19. And so people have to kind of think about that, because a lot of times people want to say Islam or the Muslims when it was the whole world doing this. And so obviously we know because of the medical, there is no medical benefit, as well as the dangers now. When you come, Islam is not a religion of intellectual concepts. Now we have more science, and we have more things put towards gynecology and obstetrician science. We know now that is obviously no benefit. Anyone in their right mind would not encourage a 12-year-old to get married and try to have then a child, because we know then that is dangerous, okay? And so Islam is a progressive religion in that way. Once you know more science, once you know things, then you build upon that, okay? So everything that Muhammad did is not something that people should do, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Muhammad lived in a tent. Should everyone be living in a tent? And so, people have to kind of really think. But I hope you guys got something from that, and just be safe, be safe, be safe, be safe, be safe. So I will see you guys later. Bye.